So, what is a knight? When we picture the Middle Ages, we picture knights, armored warriors riding into battle under banners and honor. But the real story of knighthood is stranger, bloodier, and far more political than fairy tales suggest. Knighthood began as a practical job. In the early medieval world, powerful lords needed warriors on horseback to enforce their rule. These mounted fighters, first called miles in Latin, were often brutal enforcers, not chivalrous heroes. They protected land, collected taxes, and sometimes terrorized peasants for their lords. By the 11th century, the church stepped in. It wanted to tame these violent horsemen and give them a holy purpose. The idea of chivalry was born. Knights should defend the weak, serve their lord with honor, and protect the church. It was less reality and more moral PR campaign, but it stuck. Knights became symbols of power. Being knighted was a ceremony. A young squire, after years of training, knelt before a lord or king, was tapped on the shoulder with a sword, and rose a knight. Some were noble-born, but not all. A peasant who proved himself could sometimes be knighted, though rare. Their gear was legendary. Early knights wore chainmail. Later came full suits of plate armor. Heavy but surprisingly agile for trained fighters. Their lances, swords, and war horses were expensive. A single armored knight could cost as much as a small village's yearly income. Knights didn't just fight wars, they fought tournaments. What started as brutal mock battles turned into the joust, where two riders charged with lances for honor and prizes. Tournaments were dangerous. Men died for sport, and some used blunted weapons while others secretly didn't. The Crusades turned knights into holy warriors. Orders like the Knights Templar and Teutonic Knights rose, mixing military skill with monastic vows. They built castles, guarded pilgrims, and amassed huge wealth and influence, sometimes more than kings liked. But knighthood's golden age faded. Gunpowder and professional armies made heavily armored cavalry less dominant. By the Renaissance, knights were more symbolic, elite nobles with titles rather than true battlefield power. Yet the romance of the knight lived on, fueled by stories of King Arthur and the chivalric ideal. So, what is a knight? A horse-born warrior turned cultural icon. Once feared enforcer, then holy soldier, now a symbol of honor and adventure that still shapes how we imagine the Middle Ages. If you also like learning random things, subscribe. You have found your happy place. Poem. Steel and oath, sword in hand, the vows were made, blood and faith beneath the blade. Once for gold and lordly might, now just legend, still a knight.